today. And Minister, thank you for being here. I know that in the past we've talked about the fact that my community has a very large arts industry. I have a film studio district, and over the past summer I was talking with a lot of actors in my community, members of ACTRA, writers who are members of Writers Guild. They've been really watching what's been happening in the United States with the strikes in the United States, and in particular, the issue that has come up in those strikes, one of the issues has been about AI and the impact of AI on the arts industry, particularly use of actors' voices or images, use of written materials by writers who work for film and television. And one of the questions that they were asking of me was what we can do in Canada to make sure that we're creating the right protections for artists like actors and writers in the context of AI. They actually were very excited to see that we have this bill. They recognized that we are ahead of many countries in having this kind of legislation. But the question that they wanted to know is what can we do specifically on the types of issues that I just raised?
Thank you very much, Mr. Bruce. And first of all, you're lucky to have a film industry. I think many of us around here would like to have one as well, to have, because they bring a lot of economic benefits, and certainly it's a great industry. You're quite right that our friends down south are looking very much at what's going on in Canada. I can tell you, not only down south, but the other side of the pond in Europe, because everyone understands that, you know, AI is... No one country can have all the answers, but I think in terms of cooperation and making sure to the OECD or G7, we take initiative like the Hiroshima initiative we took with Japan, who had the presidency of the G7. I think people understand, even the Leaders Summit, people talk about AI. It's that important today. You know, it's at the G7 Leaders Summit, they talk about AI. So it just say how much this is on top of mind, not only of creators and actors. And I'd like to tell you more specifically on that, but I have an announcement coming. And one thing that they have advised me is not to say everything necessarily today, but there's an announcement coming with respect to that, which will address... which will too late, yeah. Which will address some of that, because you're quite right. We need to put a bit of focus on that and understand the impact that AI can have, and also generative AI. I saw something yesterday. I don't know if colleagues saw that. Was it in the New York Times or you know, even now with image and voice, that people can, it's going at a speed. That's why I'm saying I hope colleagues feel the same level of urgency I feel, because every day we kind of learn of a new aspect of that technology that goes beyond what we have already seen. So having a framework, I think, will be much needed, and it will allow for responsible AI, because we talk a lot about the challenge and the risk, but let's talk about a lot of responsible AI. Tomorrow I'm going to be with, you know, people like Cohere in Canada, which is doing great work, Xanadu. I mean, there's tons of company, I can think, Coveo, which are doing a lot of responsible AI in this country. So you want to push innovation, because Canada is at the forefront of AI. I think if you look around the world, remember my first meeting in Washington, I remember they said, Minister, one place where Canada is way ahead is on AI. So we have this, we're at the cutting edge of it. But I think to continue that, we need to have a framework, and that's what we're proposing.